Hello. What do I mean? The game is afoot. I don't know. Um, I feel it, so it's feel. Today is a Boxing Day. Traditionally, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So, hope you all had a joyful and happy Christmas Day and are ready for the new year. The part of this Gregorian cycle of measurement of time. The light's bothering me. Yeah, it's almost 2021. A lot of people will be glad to be shot of 2020. Done with that. Ticking it off the list, throwing it away, didn't like it, all that stuff. I mean, a lot of my friends are saying that. Don't want anything like that again, ever. And it's like, well, how do we get there? See, that's the problem is when it arrives, the blissfully unaware don't really understand how we got there. And they just don't want to be there. It's almost like they're beamed in like something on Star Trek, it's like, oh, 2020, oh my gosh, So it's really tough for a lot of people to deal with, and I understand that. I mean, quite a few people I know could foresee this creeping up or down or across, this creeping towards the inevitable lockdown by the controllers, the inevitable totalitarian. I think David Icke used the expression totalitarian tiptoe, but they've gone into full sprint, and they don't care who's watching now. It's no longer tiptoeing. This is World Economic Forum on steroids. But I do think that a lot of players have been put in place to safeguard our humanity and safeguard the planet we come from. So I really think it's time to choose that goodly excuse me, that to choose that path, to choose the right path. And it's broad and there are guide rails, but we've got to start realizing and recognizing that what we do, like the theory of the butterfly wing, what we do affects others. So we've got to choose the good path. We've got to first do no harm, try and follow that idea that it's our intention to create a better world. It's not our intention to create a bad control system. And I think because I saw the intention of many psychotic world leaders through history and currently, these are people that believe they know better than you about your freedom and about your choice, about your liberty. But if they knew better, then they shouldn't need to control us. I'm going to try and draw a curtain, because these blinds, as much as they serve a purpose, they really are filtering the light into my eyes. Well, that's a little better, isn't it? Jolly good. So let's talk about other things, because I believe the war has just started. War is I just watched a mate of mine who said that the war has started. He feels like, all this positioning, all this wiggling that's been going on for the last almost a year, I suppose, is a prelude to war. And in a way it is, because that's what we're used to, because war is what we are used to. We're used to being at war, but we're not used to being at war with it when it's a war of outright attrition. When we're in a war that the enemy is within as much as it is without. So where we are is in a very unusual position, but it's one that can be dealt with by exercising the thing that we were born with, that a lot of us, we crave, which is our own personal freedom and liberty. And we crave that more than anything. And I think that in some cases, especially among people I know at the moment, people are actively defending their freedom of choice, and so they should. And that's what's really going on, is our freedom of choice is being eroded. It was like, it was creeping up on us for most of my life, and obviously prior to that, very gently going forward. But over the last year, it's ramped up considerably. And it's not something to be miserable about. It's something to be real about, but it's not something to be miserable about. It's something to take on. I never thought I'd live to see the day. I thought it was coming, and I was very concerned, and I'm concerned for my children, my children's children, etc. But I didn't actually think that within my this human existence as Nigel, I didn't think it would happen specifically in my human lifetime. I would be around, obviously, because we all are spirits in these human experiences, but I'm actually here physically, witnessing and trying very hard to open the hearts and minds of many people, trying to understand how we blindly follow fools into a situation where we end up having to turn around and face them. And that's the problem, is we've got an enemy, but it's the enemy we've decided is our authority, our own authority. It's, I have authority over me, but I don't want authority over others. I do want to help others. I have good intentions, but the people we've been following, I don't think their intentions were good or honourable. I think they were bad. But it's taken quite a long time. But again, today, it's happened. And I'm happy it's happened. I'm not Again, I'm not happy that there are always going to be casualties in war, and casualty, one of the first casualties of war, interesting quote, is truth. And I'm watching and witnessing some of my family struggling with truth. They've got so conditioned to, one side of the political spectrum or one side of the news media or whatever. They've got used to the way of receiving information from authoritative figures that they have a tendency to believe it, even if it's a lie. And that's terrible. I mean, because those that are usually the messengers in those situations are just reading a script. And if we're all players, Shakespearean, if we're all players, then, we've got to realize the role we're playing and realize that role, like be real within it, I think great actors over the years, centuries, have had an awareness of themselves within the role. They play a part, but they have an awareness of themselves. Great actors. I'm not talking about most of the crappy ones. So that awareness of self within this game that we shall call war is going to have to be very important for all of us. And it just is. And that's a good thing. I think the importance of responsibility towards your actions is vital to progress. So if we're going to progress as humanity, we've got to take that responsibility seriously, help others, but for the most part, be within your own sovereignty and understand how important your decisions are on a daily basis. So you interact with others, but you actually understand that your influence over them is great, and that's part and parcel of the responsibility of being good or being a good person. Anyway, I got this nice robe for Christmas. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, Southern California, and I'll probably be able to wear it for 3 days of the year or 3 nights of the year because it's very hot. But it kind of matches my hair, so it's nice. It's lovely. My children are brilliant and beautiful, but then everybody's children are brilliant and beautiful, aren't they? Saw some babies yesterday, like little ones under 7 years old, my nieces, nephews, for the most part being children. But then I also saw, actually they're my nieces and nephews' children, so I don't know what that makes them. I don't know, for once removed, whatever. I mean, they're no blood relative, but yeah. But that was fun to see little kids playing and then seeing their parents and staying. So it was good. There was a lot of generational play yesterday within a large family in the Valley in Los Angeles. Good people, really good people, and so it was lovely. So I'm trying to, I was talking to somebody the other day about, oh yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine who lives up in the northeast of America, and she works with very powerful people. She's a great woman, just an amazing woman. But we were talking about that intuitive sense of empathy, that intuitive, empathetic feeling, that sensation, that sense of empathy when it becomes too much. It becomes like a seriously overwhelming situation because you're soaking up everybody you meet's energy. Definitely the ones you interact with. Not everybody you meet, because some people are, not carrying much energy around with you. But then there are so it's like, it's hard work when people are in such negative spaces to soak up that energy. I feel it sometimes when I'm around certain people that I have within my life, but I also have a way of blocking it, which is good. We need that, and we all need to develop that. But if you really are an empath, you might want to narrow your circle of friends into ones that are non-harming, because there are some people that are going to get desperately clingy. I used to call them energy vampires, because they were people that had so little energy of their own but could see yours and then would like latch onto it. I used to have a lot of peripheral friends that I could feel their energy as they walk in the room, and I'd be like, oh God, put the walls up. Shields up. Captain Picard, shields up. It's we will when we win, which we will, because humanity is based on love, and love always wins. But the humanity that's progressing through this transitional period of life right now, all of us collectively on this path towards a better world, we will eventually all start to know and understand that empathetic resonance, that idea that you recognize when somebody's in distress and you help them, or you recognize when they're in great joy and you join with them. I mean, these are all recognitions of energies, and the manipulation of the energies has been for centuries something that people struggle with. They've really struggled with it. Somebody said the other day to me, it's like, it's getting so chaotic that nobody knows what's really happening. And I said, well, if you look at certain very obvious signs, you'll see that that's important to a lot of people, especially those that carry it as their standard. That's their maxim, is order through chaos. So they create chaos so as they can maintain order within it. And that's the Rosicrucian, Knights Templar kind of Freemasonry kind of secret society. But only in the higher echelons do they actually not just understand that that's a logo or that's a maxim, but they live to create the chaos in order to maintain the order. Well, they've already lost. I mean, I was going to say they've lost their way, but they haven't lost their way. They've got their way, and their way is darkness, and their way is not going to survive this transitional period. And I don't mean it in such a mean way as to wipe out those that are, but unless they recognize and realize that they're on the wrong path, then they'll continue to be on the wrong path and will not progress past this transitional point in humanity. That's my belief. Boxing Day. The day after Christmas. All right. Been working on some new pieces of music that I'm kind of airing towards something more instrumental rather than, we got a glitch then. That was weird. Hello, technology. Yeah. But I've been starting to feel these pieces of music that are transitional, peaceful pieces of music that I think I should continue to write. So I'm going to do that. And for those that felt it, December 21st, was very important. For those that didn't feel it, it still was important, but it just, you didn't feel that sudden. It's hard to call it sudden. You didn't feel that energy, vibrational quality, that resonance. You didn't feel that. That's okay, it's fine. But for those that did, I've seen you. I see you. You're smiling, and I like that. You've got to smile. Got to laugh. Oh, there it is. Okay. I shall try to get some sleep because I haven't been sleeping enough. Been working too hard. Too many hours. It's like, and then I don't allow myself the hours I need to recuperate. So I'm going to do that. And I'll probably see you all in the new year, if not before. And it's lovely that you've joined me in the chat room. I like that. I'm sorry I'm not answering questions. I just wanted to say a few things. And it's taken me 22 minutes and 49 seconds to say them. Oh, apart from I want to say, love you. Love you all very much. It's very important that we love each other. All right. Love you. Bye.